Good afternoon or good morning, everybody. My name is Warren Navarro with the Sacramento Area Council of Governments. And today I'm going to be your guide into using our 2030 Block Boundary Suggestion Program, or BBSP, interface that we will use to make your suggestions for the block edges for the 2030 census update. This program is one of the first programs that actually create our geospatial boundary for the blocks, and then we will go eventually into block groups and then census tracts, which goes into the census program. Some dates to remember: April 30th is the last day to make your submissions, and then May 15th SACOG will make those submissions to the statewide database at Berkeley, who will review, who will submit it to the nationwide census on May 29th. So for our counties and members jurisdiction, please have your edits in by April 30th. So let's get started with the interface. Once you get your interface up and running, just hit on the agree button here. Be sure to read this little blurb and then hit enter. The first thing I always like to do is hit the interface guide, and you already see it's already been activated on mine. All you have to do is open it and go to it. So this interface guide is a guide for our member jurisdictions to use this interface and how to make block edges edits on the interface. We have a quick start one pager right after the intro top page. And then the rest of the documents is supplemental information describing what's in the interface, and how our data is in what is in there, and how is it created, methodology, and how to make some edits. It's just basically describing the interface to help you become more familiar with the program. So let's go over the interface itself. It's pretty simple. I designed it to be very quick and easy on the eyes. That's why I chose a dark background, because when you're making a lot of edits, bright, vibrant colors strain the eyes over a long period of time. So that's why I kind of went with dark. But there is opportunity to change the base map. So if you want aerial, we'll change it in a second. Let's just go over the buttons. First, we're going to describe what's our map layers. You're going to be using this a lot. And then those map layers have a legend to them. So that's the legend button right there. And finally, our fun base map. So let's just say, oh, I don't like this gray. I want imagery. There you go. Um, there's differing imageries in dark, but in general, I think you're going to be working with dark gray canvas and imagery going back and forth. Rest of the interface has map elements. So we have our home page. So let's just say, you zoom in an area, like, I want to see the whole county again. There you go. Oh, one quick thing. Thank you for Placer County being the demo for this interface video. So we're going to be working with Placer County assets today. So going back to the interface, here's our full screen. If you want to use the full screen button, I kind of don't suggest that because you don't get the panel page. Previous and next extent, um, and then zoom in and zoom out buttons, and then search by address. And then finally down here, I'll be describing that later on when we start doing edits, is our selection buttons, and then our editor panel. Um, so edit buttons and such, you could activate this to do multiple selections. But in order to see, if you want to select something, you have to activate it, and it has to be blue. But let's just say, oh, I don't want that selection, hit the clear button right here, and it will deselect it, and then you can turn off your selection. Okay, let's describe the layers. So what I have default on is going to be group 3, but let me discuss group 4 first, and then group 1, and then we will get to the meat and potatoes of the interface, which is group 3. Group 4 is our auxiliary. This provides you with auxiliary information for the area. So, our regional center line, it's a little bit too hard on my eyes. There we go. Let's go back here. Um, so it gives our center line, our California streams, um, city boundaries, parcel files, and this is activated at the lowest level or one of the lower level because it's just there's so many parcel files. Um, our census designated places derived from the census, and then finally SACOG's community types. It's an internally developed um, boundary area describing in coordination with our blueprint program, what we consider are the center corridors established, who's developing, where's our rural areas and areas identified not for growth. So natural areas and agriculture, natural lands and agriculture. So that is our auxiliary layer. It's just there to help you. Our second layer that I like to highlight is going to be our group and review flags. So this one here has our city county boundaries. Apologize, county boundaries, and then block groups. So let's turn these guys off. So block groups, they will activate at a lower level, and there you go. You see it right now. These are our block groups at the 2020 census. Finally, um, kind of the highlight of the review flag is the SACOG and DOF review flags. So let's just activate one of them just to describe you what's happening here. So the SACOG and DOF review flags is to assist our member jurisdictions identify areas at the block group level of growth at population and housing. We have four signals. So the housing inventory flag is completed housing since 2020. It's just, hey, housing got built here. Boom, it goes at the block group. Base year is base year delta flag is based on our simulation for our base year, basically a simulated growth from our last plan to this current plan right now. So where we saw or projecting growth for population and housing. ACS, we use the 2016 to 2019 as the base, and then we uh, corresponded that with the 2021 to 2024 and saw differences of housing and population. And finally, the Department of Finance graciously provide us with their signal flags where they think our simulated model growth for the population and housing. So this whole layer is just to assist our members' jurisdictions at the block group level of areas where, hey, maybe this is worth looking at. So this one right here has three. Um, yeah, so there's three. So like, hey, take a look over here. Let's see another one. Excuse me. We have another three right here, but there's some areas that are like high fours. Like, okay, we have a lot. We had housing here. We simulated growth here. ACS says people are, there's population housing growth here, and then DOF says, yeah, there's been identified population and housing growth. So this is like, well, maybe an opportunity to take a look over here. So when you have identified that, you can turn off the group 1 and 2 and then go to group 3 now. Now this is our block edges and blocks. So in here, this is where we're going to be doing the edits. And the only edit you're really going to be doing on is based on the edges. So the green is what the census is planning to use as a block boundary, and then what's ineligible and not planned or no status. So if you want, this is what the census is looking to say. These are going to be the blocks for the 2030. So this is our opportunity for our region to say, hey, maybe you should use this as a block. And how we do that is I kind of equate it to think of it as the blocks are rooms and the block edges are walls. And this interface is basically allowing you to tell SACOG, hey, you got to hold this wall, you got to remove this wall, or you got to add this wall. And I will show you ways to do that. So going back here, let's just say, okay, high, large population. They're saying consider splitting. I don't see anything in this area. Well, maybe there is. There is some oranges. I don't see anything, but I know for a fact we're practicing for this video. They were considering Olympic Valley as a split. So this is where our members' jurisdictions' local knowledge really kick in and really going to help us out. So the census says they're considering this as a split. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know why they would consider that. Maybe these housing or so. Maybe we should put a split over here. So you would put that in. Now, how would you do that? There's a couple ways. So let's just say we would split this. So how would you do that? I would switch it back to dark kit canvas. So I'm trying to find some sort of block split here that I could follow. So it looks like we can't really do that. So we're gonna have to add. We're gonna start with adding an edge first. So let's just hypothetically we're gonna do this area right here. So now I'm gonna switch it back to aerial. maybe use some natural feature to make our edges right here. So maybe like, I think there's a golf course. Yeah, that's my golf course. So, okay, maybe we could use like these as an edge, and the tree line here is an edge, and then follow this road as an edge, and then connect it back here on this plan boundary. So how will we do that? How will we add an edge? Well, to do that, you're gonna have to click on the editor panel. Make sure you're not selected on anything. So once again, let's go back over here. Let's clear our selection. Hit our edge right here. So now it's activated and say, okay, now let's add an edge. So maybe using this road is a good one. So make sure you start on a planned edge and then follow the feature right here to follow that road. I'm just going to be really sloppy just for, for time's sake here on the demo. Maybe follow this tree line. Yeah, follow that, follow that, follow that. Then maybe follow this road, follow this road, follow this road, oh, this road. I don't think there's going to be housing down there, or what do you think? I don't know. Maybe there will be housing here in the future, but once again, this is where our local jurisdiction and county um, partners are able to tell us. They're like, yeah, we know we're going to be putting something there in the future, or we know there's going to be growth there. Try to finish out at another planned boundary and close that. So now this is a new edge, and we actually split that. Placer County, I am not putting this as a submission. Um, I'm just showing it for demo. Don't worry, I'm not going to submit it. So how we're going to do here is, we must hold this, then give a reason like, hey, this is an opportunity, to make this an edge because we have housing here, but this side's going to be like forest still. So now we are identifying this as a block. And then this is going to be Placer County, and then whoever did it, and hit create, and that's it. And you're all done. We just added an edge. So now, I'm going to discard this. So I'm going to discard it. See Placer County, I'm not keeping it. I'm discarding it. And that's it. So that is one way to add an edge. Let's just say, let's deselect. Let's go back to the core area of Placer, which is kind of Roseville, Rockland area, and Lincoln. I'm not going to forget about Lincoln. So let's take an opportunity here. Let's take a look. Let's just say, let's see. The census is saying this is zero population and consider merging. I'm like, no, we want to keep this area. So what I'm going to do is, see here, I'm going to turn off the block. So they're considering merging this, or we should consider merging this, but I'm like, no, census, you're wrong. I want to keep this. So how would I keep this? So I would say, I would go to a point and I say, okay, I want this edge and we're going to hold it. That's it. We're going to hold this, and we must hold this because we must hold. And then we go to the reason flag because there's housing here. There's a lot of housing here, and we want to maintain that or not maintain that. It's up to it's up to your local jurisdictions. But then you go maintain there, and let's just say you want to do a bunch of them, right? So you don't want to go each one, selecting on each edge. So way to do that is take off this selection button. Start with, we select here. We're going to select this one, and then go back to over here on the selecting and add selection to it. It should work. There's one. I need to add another one. Oh, I could never get this right. I apologize, everybody. Or we could use the lasso. One, two. There we go. If you hold the shift button, that excuse me, excuse me. If you hold the shift button, that allows you to add selections, and if you hold the control button, that allows you to take away selections. So if you hold the shift, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I really apologize. Okay. Oh man. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. We're back to here. There we go. We're back to selecting again. Um, so now it's double selected two features, and So this is a fast way to say, hey, I want all these links. I want to edit them all at the same time. So now you know which edges are being selected. Hit the edit button, and then it would edit both of these at the same time. So we would say, okay, we got to hold this, and then we would say why, and it would update for both. And then whichever jurisdictions, I believe this is Roseville, finally put in your name. Um, but that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, once again, this is an opportunity for our member jurisdictions and our regions to voice our have an influence on our block boundary suggestion, which this feeds into the census for the census track and block group. So it really helps us out when we get an accurate number. One more. Let's see. Turn that on. So maybe this is an opportunity right here, actually, using another example of, hey, maybe we should merge this. We should lose this edge right here. Ooh, there we go. So maybe there's an opportunity not to hold this, right? Do not hold this. So this, what will happen is they'll take it away and then they will merge it with this block, essentially. So there's an opportunity. You just saw an opportunity where we could create our own blocks by not holding. Um, Other than that, I think I covered most of it. If you have questions and concerns, my name is Warren Navarro. Once again, my email is up here. Um, and once again, our deadline is going to be April 30th for all of our submissions. And other than that, I hope you have a great day.